Silence. No voice. No leader. No army in sight. The room is empty. But the maps remain lit. Plans still active. Strategies that are still alive. Today you will understand a profound biblical truth. People come and go, but principles remain. In the Bible, empires fell. Kings are dead. Armies were defeated. But the Word, He remains standing. Stay until the end. Because the last image in this video is not just symbolic. She is a spiritual warning for this generation. If this type of content builds your faith, leave a like now and subscribe. This helps this message reach more people. There is a silent mistake that spans generations. The mistake of thinking that everything depends on who is in charge. Whose appearance is it? Who is in charge? It's up to whoever decides. The Bible dismantles this illusion page by page. Moses freed the people. The sea parted. He spoke with God face to face. And even so, he died. The desert is not over. The promise was not cancelled. The plan did not fall apart. Because the plan never depended on Moses. Moses was part of the plan. This is the shock that many people can't bear to hear. God does not build His work around men. He inserts men into what He has already decided to do. When Moses exits the scene, Joshua enters. When Joshua departs, judges rise up. When judges fail, kings emerge. When kings fall, prophets remain. And when all else fails, God continues. The image accompanying this video reveals this in a brutal way. An empty room. No one. No voice. No visible authority. But the maps remain active. That's biblical. When Elijah thought he was alone, God already had 7,000. When Joseph was forgotten in prison, the throne was already being prepared. When Jesus was placed in a tomb, redemption was already sealed. The greatest spiritual deception is thinking that silence means abandonment. In the Bible, silence almost always signifies transition. Phase transition. Transition of leadership. Transition of strategies. But never a change of purpose. Perhaps today you are looking around and seeing absence. People who left. Structures that collapsed. Authorities who failed. And the question echoes. Who's going to foot the bill now? The biblical answer is uncomfortable, but liberating. It was never the people. Those were the principles. It was the alliances. It was the Word. That's why this video isn't just about history. It's about you. If what you build depends on you, it will die with you. But if it is born of God, it will outlive you. Stay until the end. Because the next part will reveal why God allows rooms to remain empty. And how does this separate those who live by position of those who live for purpose? If this message is already opening your eyes, stop for a second. Leave your like now. This helps this content reach those who need to hear this truth. And subscribe to the channel. Because what comes next is not comfort. It's a revelation. Every empire is born believing it will be eternal. Giant constructions. Large armies. Systems so well designed that they seem invincible. But the Bible views history from a different perspective. She's not impressed by size. It does not bow before human power. Babylon believed that its walls would protect it. Rome was confident that its military might would dominate the world. Pharaoh thought his throne was untouchable. They all fell. Scripture does not record these falls as accidents. It reveals a spiritual pattern. Everything that is built solely by human hands has an expiration date. What survives is not the empire. It is the doctrine that confronts him. The word has passed through Babylon. He crossed Rome. He endured persecution, burning at the stake, imprisonment, and censorship. Without armies. No palaces. Without institutional protection. While kings were signing decrees, the word was already written. While empires changed their flags, the truth remained the same. Jesus made this clear. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. That sentence is not poetic. It is prophetic. It's historic. Today, look at the image that accompanies this video. A modern room. Advanced technology. No one was present. Human power always needs people to function. The truth is no. When there are no people, the human system stops working, but the principles continue to operate. That is why, in the Bible, God often allows empires to grow, not to validate them, but to prove that even at their peak, they can't silence the truth. Pharaoh resisted. The sea parted. Nebuchadnezzar became enraged. He ate grass. Herod glorified himself. He died in front of the people. The doctrine remained. Pride has fallen. Perhaps the greatest spiritual test is not persecution. It's stability, when everything seems too strong to fall. But it is precisely at this moment that God reminds us. No human system is permanent. If you place your faith in structures, you will be disappointed. If you place your hopes in positions of power, you will be lost. But if it is anchored in truth, it doesn't matter who governs. Stay until the end of this video, because in the next topic you will understand why God allows silence after the fall of empires, and how this reveals who truly trusts in Him. If this message is challenging your understanding of power, leave your like now. This signals that this content needs to continue being delivered. And subscribe to the channel. What follows is not about politics. It speaks of eternal purpose. There is a moment in the biblical journey that is more frightening than war. That's when everything goes silent. No response. No signal. Without a clear direction. People often call this abandonment. The Bible calls it a transition. When Elijah flees to the desert, fire has already fallen from the sky. The victory has already happened. The prophets of Baal have already been defeated. And even then, he collapses. Tiredness. Fear. Silence. God does not confront him. He is not accusing him. Don't rule it out. God silences him in order to reposition him. The text says there was strong wind, an earthquake, and fire. But God was not in any of them. After that, a soft voice. Almost imperceptible, but full of direction. Silence was not the end for Elijah. It was the interval between one chapter and the next. The image that accompanies this video expresses exactly that. An empty room. Cold light. No human movement. But everything is connected. Everything is working. When the noise stops, the systems remain active. When people leave, the purpose doesn't leave with them. In the Bible, the greatest breakthroughs happen after long periods of silence. Hosea spends years forgotten. Moses spends 40 years in the desert. Jesus spends 30 years in anonymity. The sky was not inactive. I was preparing something that the noise wouldn't allow anyone to hear. Perhaps you are in that place today. No clear answers. No confirmations. No applause. And the temptation is to give up. To think that you've lost. That failed. That which was left behind. But the Word reveals something different. God doesn't speak less when He withdraws. He speaks less when He wants to elaborate. Silence filters. Remove distractions. Break emotional dependencies. It exposes the wrong motivations. Those who only walk with God when there is noise cannot handle maturity. But those who remain silent learn to hear what few hear. Stay until the end of this video, because the next topic will reveal why God removes visible faces from control and governs by invisible truths. This will change the way you view leadership, authority, and purpose. If this word is speaking to you right now, leave a like. This helps this message reach those who are also silent. And subscribe to the channel. What comes next is not an explanation. It's spiritual alignment. Human beings have always sought a face to follow, a name you can trust, a figure to represent security. But the Bible reveals something that challenges this need. God never ruled through faces. He governs through truth. When the people asked for a king, God did not celebrate. He warned, not because the throne was wrong, but because the hearts of the people were transferring their trust. They wanted someone visible. God was already present. Saul had the appearance, height, posture, but it wasn't aligned. While the people saw a face, God was observing the heart. When Saul fell, many thought the plan had failed. But the kingdom does not depend on who occupies the throne. It depends on who obeys the truth. David was not chosen because of his image, but because of the alignment. And even David, when he turned away from the truth, he reaped the consequences. This reveals something serious. Not even the anointed one is greater than the principle. Not even the chosen one is above the truth. The image that drives this video communicates this powerfully. A room without people. Without leaders. No familiar faces. Still, everything continues to function. Because truths don't need physical presence. They don't need charisma. They don't need applause. When Judas betrayed us, the gospel did not fall. When Peter denied it, the promise was not cancelled. When leaders fail, God doesn't panic. He remains true to what he has established. Perhaps you're waiting for someone else to solve it. A leader. An authority. A person who brings direction. But the Bible teaches that the direction has already been given. It is written. It's been revealed. She is alive. While the world chases after faces, God is calling his people back to the truth. And that hurts. Because it's easier to follow someone, rather than obeying something. Faces inspire for a while. Truths endure for generations. That is why God removes central figures. It allows you to stay. Authorizes transitions. Not to destroy faith, but to purify it. Stay until the end of this video. Because the last topic will reveal who does not fear the future, even when everything seems out of control. If this message is realigning your faith, leave your like now. This signals that this content needs to continue. And subscribe to the channel. The ending is not symbolic. It's revealing. Fear of the future does not stem from what is yet to come. It originates from where trust was placed. Those who trust in human structures panic when they tremble. Those who rely on visible systems lose their footing when they fail. But those who understand eternal principles walk in peace, even in uncertain times. The Bible never promised political stability. It never guaranteed economic security. It never guaranteed the permanence of empires. She promised something bigger. Loyalty. Therefore, when everything seems to fall apart, the righteous do not despair. He repositions himself. The final image in this video summarizes this truth in a silent yet powerful way. An empty room. Active maps. No visible leadership. No human voices. Even so, everything continues to function. This reveals a profound spiritual reality. The world needs human control to function, not the kingdom of God. When Jesus ascended to heaven, the disciples stood gazing up into the sky, confused, insecure, not knowing what to do. But the kingdom did not pause. The Spirit came. The church has moved forward. The word spread. The future was never in the hands of the disciples. It has always been in God's hands. Perhaps you are looking ahead and seeing uncertainty. Rapid changes. Authorities falling. Systems are being questioned. And the question arises, how can we live without fear in a world like this? The biblical response is not to deny reality. It's about seeing it from the right perspective. Those who understand that God governs by principles do not panic about change. Don't cling to fragile structures. It doesn't build faith on people. It builds upon the truth. Therefore, those who remain are not the strongest. They are the most aligned. When the noise increases, they remain silent. When chaos spreads, they remain steadfast. When everything changes, they keep walking. Not because they know what's going to happen, but because they know who is in charge. This understanding changes everything. It changes the way we view crises. It changes the way we deal with loss. It changes the way we look at tomorrow. The future doesn't frighten those who have already relinquished control. Final closing. If you've made it this far, understand this. Nothing came from God's hands. Nothing went wrong according to plan. Nothing surprised the sky. The enemies pass by. Systems change. The faces disappear. But the truth remains. If this message strengthened your faith, leave a like now. This helps the message reach those who need to hear that God still reigns. Subscribe to the channel to continue receiving content that aligns, awakens, and edifies. And share this video with someone who needs to stop fearing the future and begin to trust in the God who has never lost control.